What up, K9 fam? Welcome. It is 6 o'clock Tuesday already. So, awesome episode coming up. There's going to be a lot of value. Probably the most value so far in the episode because it's going to be a real world story with real world results. And for me, that's all that really matters. Honestly, everything else, uh, that's it, right? What are the real time results with the real world stories? Before we jump on, I'm waiting for Steve to jump on. We'll get him on, but give everyone a little update on B Tour. For those of you that don't know, last night my office door was open. Went out to dinner, came back, and I forget that he's still 11-month-old pup, and he got in, and on the outside of my office, my desk, I have real cow hides that were attached to the outside of the desk, and he grabbed them, and unbelievable. It's just hard to even fathom. He literally consumed both of them, and they're 2 foot by 2 foot. So far, up until now, everything's been good. He's passing, and he's going to the bathroom fine. His energy was pretty normal, but tonight, I mean, he's sleeping, and we're gonna see what tonight brings, because there was a lot to consume. So I'll keep you guys posted. Hopefully, hopefully we can get this through his system. So definitely a little stress. I'm gonna be honest with you. So he's not in pain. Doesn't feel like he's got a fever. I'll take his temperature. But anyway, that's the latest and greatest, guys. What up, fam? Mobtown Bullies. Always appreciate the love, man. My man Steve joined. So yeah, we're gonna definitely stay tuned, and this might be something you want to share, because it's gonna talk to about 98% of the people on here. Trust me, from the questions I always get asked, and what people are currently feeding, and what they believe actually is the right thing to do. Trust me, this is gonna be awesome. So once he hits me up with a request, we'll get him on. Let me see what we got here, man. Blue Line, appreciate the love, man. I see you. Tombstone Kennels, what's going on, man? Cal State, what's up, my brother? I don't know why. Canelo, XL Bully, man. Appreciate the love.
Yo,
What's up, brother?
How's this angle? Is this good?
Yeah, you're sideways.
Not sideways.
Yeah, there you go. What's going on, my brother?
Good, bro. Good. Over here at the shop.
Good, man. Just closing up.
Yeah.
Cool. For you guys that don't know, he's got two actual supplement stores, sports nutrition stores, down here in SoCal. I'll let Steve introduce himself and kind of give the overview of what you got going on with your businesses, man. Because opening up two shops in this day and age, man, is not an easy thing to actually do and to make happen, man. Trust me, I had one back in 2008 to 2012. So kudos, brother.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah. My name's. I own two supplement stores. One in National City, California. Had that for about just short of 5 years. April will be 5 years. And then just opened up another one here in Imperial Beach 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago, October 2nd.
Okay. All right. You're an IB. Okay.
Yeah, here in IB.
Okay.
But been in the supplement industry since I was 13 years old.
Okay.
So from 13, actually like 12, from like 12, 13 up to 16.
Yeah.
I was working for, that's still around, Ultimate Sport Nutrition.
Uh-huh.
right there, Third Avenue. So I was working for them under the table up until my senior year because I didn't turn 16 until I was a senior. So legally I couldn't work nowhere. They were the only ones that would like, at an early age I didn't like asking my parents for money or whatever
Yep.
girlfriend I had. I would go mow lawns for, hey, I'll mow your lawn for $20. Mow 2 lawns all day, and I would be happy leaving home with $40. I'll go sweep barbershops, sweep up all their hair from open to close for tips. Leave, I think, with like $50 too. But high school days, $50, you're golden.
You're balling.
Golden.
Yeah.
But at that age, I got really, really into fitness, really into the supplement industry side as well. So at that time I was working for Ultimate, and I would work there, sample, work on the table until I was 16, and then at 16, then they ended up hiring me actually for an actual employee, and I was doing that part time. I think at that time, what's part time? Under 30 hours?
I think so, something like that. Yeah.
I think I was only doing like 30, 25, 30 hours. That time I was still going to school. So I was a senior. Send all my football friends over there. After high school, went to college for a little bit. Would do it there. Then I started getting into competitions. Did actually last year I just did my 6th competition, but
What, bodybuilding?
Yeah. But it up to six shows. 5 of them were local. 1 of them was actual like national stage.
Oh, awesome.
Last year, so actually from I think when I was 18 to 21, I did like 4 shows.
Wow.
Back to back, and then I ended up taking like a 5-year break. Got really like the supplement business side. Started saving more. At that time I was going to college, but at that time I thought you had to go to school to open up your own business.
Yeah, right.
School, and it was completely different. I was never a school person. It just really wasn't for me.
And you know what, man? When you really look around, the majority of entrepreneurs, business owners, are not cut out for the school system because we're just not built to be in a cookie cutter mode, right? We're not built to just follow orders, not ask questions, and just get in line. Some people are, but yeah, I tell people, man, once they kicked me out of high school, I realized I had the entrepreneurial DNA, man. So we're just different.
Yeah, I was entrepreneur before I even knew what entrepreneur. Before I even knew what that word was. Up here, mowing lawns. But I didn't realize until I want to say like 2 years into college. One of my professors, it was a thing for, I think it was business management or business or marketing. It was one of those.
Right.
And they're teaching you how to market business, everything. And now looking back at it, there probably was a rude question to ask a professor. But I asked him, on the side, like, because he asked if we had any questions, and I just asked him, like, hey, like, how can you really teach me about business marketing if
All
we
right.
don't?
So stop right there, because you know what? I can, in my own conscience, I can't allow you to say, well, it might have been rude. The fuck it is, it ain't rude, right? Here's why. You want to know why? Because you're paying money to get value and get results. So you have every fucking right to ask that question. And I'm passionate about that because people are misled and this brainwashing that they're not supposed to answer bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what? Guess what, man? If they can't answer the question, that's your answer.
Yeah.
Right? Because I want to know, what do you bring to the table that I'm paying for, not just money wise, but my time. So 100%, man, 100%. You were absolutely right. And had every right to ask that question. You really had every right to ask that question before you signed that dotted line that you were going to pay this facility and for your time and your money.
Yeah.
The reason I'm going so hard in this, right, is because people are listening that might question themselves. Well, maybe I shouldn't ask him because he's a professor. No, you have every right to know, what am I getting out of this? You
Sure.
did the right thing, bro. So anyway, I get a little passionate with this, man, because people are misled.
It's true though. It is true. Because I asked him, and I don't think he even gave me an answer. He actually just kicked me out of his class.
Yeah, why? Because why? Right?
Yeah. And after that, then that's when I realized, like, shoot. I don't remember. Actually, I don't remember who told me, like, hey, you don't have to go to school to open a business. Like, that's something completely different. And then I think at that time, one of my friends that graduated high school like 2 years or 3 years prior from me, they went to management or business degree. Actually, I think he got even like a PhD or master's in business. And he's a general manager. I'm not too sure where.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that's what you use to open a business. I don't want to be a manager. Then I figured out, like, no, that's, you can either do a business loan or you can, do it cash. So at that time, then I started working I was working at Chili's at that time as well. And I just worked up full time. Actually, I was working six days a week. Out of the 6 days, I would open and close 3 to 4 days if they let me. And at that time, my parents, I'm half Mexican, half Filipino. So on my family, it's not really tradition not to go to school, and what are you going to school for?
Yeah.
So at that time, I would actually lie to my family, like, oh yeah, I'm doing classes online. And they're like, okay, yeah, just because I didn't want to,
I get that, right?
told them
Yeah, that's
yeah, I told them once that
but what people have to understand, that's the true entrepreneurial DNA, right? That's who we are, right?
Yeah.
We don't just get in line. It's not who we are. It's not it's the opposite is what our oxygen becomes, right? It becomes our oxygen to do things, to in essence really jump off the cliff and learn how to fly on the way down. That's really our DNA when you think about it, right?
Yeah. They come right here. Can you teach us how to get? I already got like that. But yeah, I was working full time and just saved all my cash. Saved all my cash. Would get tipped. Literally saved every single penny. And then at that time, when I saved up enough, the store that I was working with part time still, Ultimate Sport, had 5 stores at one point. And he didn't want his stores no more. Besides, he kept one, but he wanted to sell all of them because he wanted to be. His kids were getting ready to play, I believe college or high school baseball, so he wanted to be involved more with them. And so, blessed enough that he gave me the opportunity to buy out the Ultimate Sport Nutrition in National City. So I saved up enough cash, put a down payment, did payments for about 2 years, paid it off, and then told him thank you, for the blessing. Thank you for teaching me everything I know from I was 13 years old. And I told him that, I'm gonna change the name. And he didn't have no hard feelings about it. He said, congrats, proud of you, and build your own name. So I had that for I think 3 years, or April. And then blessed enough, good service, good product, able to open up a second location here in IB.
Awesome, man. I love it, brother. I love it because that's been that's again, once they kicked me out of high school, I realized I had that entrepreneurial DNA, always had that hustle. Yeah, man, I love it. And quite honestly, to really be honest with everyone, and most people that follow me know this, one of the biggest reasons on a business end business side of why Canine Super Supplements is even here is because the e-com world will allow me to live a life at another level that I've always wanted to, and that's just be able to literally come and go as I please, right? We can, it's pretty much, once you get the infrastructure down, then it's virtual, right? Then you could start to do things virtual. But yeah, man, I get it, brother. And I get so passionate when there's information, it's so misleading that literally could alter somebody's whole life, right? Because you could have somebody that sat in that class, was afraid to speak up, afraid to say something, questioning themselves, when in all reality, that is the most logical fucking question anybody would ask, right? How long? So what have you actually done? What can I learn besides what you're reading in a book, right? Because it's the real world. That's exactly, that's it. So anyway, I love that, and I just gotta address this real quick. I'll come back to that, man. But you know, I invited you on because obviously I want to share your recent story and results with your pup, right? Because, you know, we've been back and forth on DMs, because I get the question all the time, and I get the comments all the time. And, you know, it's always obviously around nutrition and what people are feeding their dogs, what they believe their dogs actually need, what they believe their dogs actually want. So again, there's a lot of misleading information. But what I love about the canine nutrition versus the human nutrition, and we both know this, it's way easier to navigate through the canine than it is the so much of the craziness in the human world. But when you start to really, I use the human analogies a lot, because when you really understand it, we believe it or not, we are so similar to our canine companions and our canine crew than we actually realize. And when I start to share analogies and real world experiences, it starts to connect the dots for people. But your story is absolutely perfect, dude. How and guys, understand this: everything that we're going to share tonight, we'll back up with DMs. So you're going to see, you would see dates, times, conversations, threads, profiles, the whole 9 yards. So everything that he's going to share tonight, and we're going to share with you with this story, is all backed up with documented. It's all documented. So I love it, man. So kind of give us a little 30,000 foot view, man, of how we got to where me and you are now. Just give us that 30,000 foot view, how it all started when you reached out to me.
Yeah, so I have a Frenchie. You know, recently my wife and I we got a Frenchie, and you know, go on. I feed my Frenchie blueberries. This is good for them. I feed my Frenchies strawberries, coconut oil, pumpkin, whole eggs, just all these whole nines. And for most people, you know, most people get a dog for a pet. My wife and I, we've been trying to have a baby this year, and actually early this year she was pregnant. We ended up having a miscarriage at like 9 weeks, 10 weeks, or 8 weeks, one of those, and definitely took us down like a different path. And for a while, my wife actually wanted a dog, and she didn't grow up with dogs though. I did, so I had the ability of a dog, and I'll tell her like, hey, like, you know, it's not just, hey buddy, and give him back to the it's a lot of work. But when everything happened, I actually don't know how it popped in my head. Then I finally said, let's get a dog. So we ended up getting a dog.
You're breaking up a little bit.
How's that?
Better.
Better. Yes, we have. I hit up my uncle, Robert, and sent him.
Yeah. We lost your sound.
Hello.
Yeah, we lost your sound for a minute.
What about now?
Yeah.
Better. That's weird. Yeah, and so she had puppies from, I think his name is SD Frenchies at the time. We ended up picking him up, and he was feeding him, I think, already Victor's High Pro Plus.
Uh-huh.
You know, they said that's, you know, for puppies and for adults, for all ages. So we kept that there and there. But as you know, end up loving your pet more, you know, as an actual, like, another child, you want to feed them the best that you can give them. So like, I saw blueberries on TikTok. I saw strawberries, whole eggs, pumpkin, just the whole list. And once I saw that list, you know, I started giving him I think like blueberries in the morning with a raw egg, and then his second meal, I'll give him strawberries with pumpkin and coconut oil.
And then this was with the kibble as well, right?
Kibbles, yeah. So I don't remember dosage what the kibbles was, but let's just say if it was a cup a day, I'll split half a cup morning, half a cup at night.
Uh-huh.
And we started noticing he was getting like and then we're also giving him like supplements. This was before we found out about you.
Okay.
Again, you go on TikTok and they show these like Frenchie cases. That's with the joint support, multivitamin, and you go on TikTok and you hear all these good reviews about it. And the dude was just getting like diarrhea. I mean, left and right.
Now, were you also adding in vegetables as well?
Veggies? No, never.
Okay, just the fruit. I thought you had veggies in there too for some reason.
No. Only thing outside of kibbles was the fruit, the raw egg, pumpkin, and coconut oil.
Okay.
And you know, some days it'll be wet. Some days it would have been. And then I think like 1 week, bro, it was just like I actually ended up seeing your line. I don't remember how it popped up. Maybe from Border Town.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember reading it. I was like, dude, this is some quality shit right here. Because the people that I would buy it from, like the joint support, I would ask them like, hey, is there a freak in it? Hey, is there MC in it? Like, what's the joint support? And I don't. We'll just look at the back. And I was like, dude, like, I could do that myself, you know? And then they're talking
Right.
yeah, they're doing like $50 for these supplements that I don't even think are even working. And then 1 week, it was really bad. Like, I'm talking about like the water, bad. So then that's when, I think at that time, I did end up getting your supplements when we finished all the other ran. And we had these supplements that was really bad, and then that's when I hit you up. I don't know if it's the supplements, because some people were saying like, oh, maybe if you give them too much protein.
See, again, we're gonna address all that, man. We're gonna,
As having a first time dog and a Frenchie that's sensitive to everything in the world, I didn't know. I just wanted to give him the best stuff out there that's all over the internet. When I hit you up, we ended up eliminating everything, completely everything. Just go back to kibbles.
So I'll give them a little overview as well. So how long were you on the canine super supplements before you hit me up?
How long was I giving it to him?
Yeah.
Probably like 2 weeks.
Okay. So he just started, but he was at that time he was already had diarrhea, correct?
Yeah. It just,
Yeah.
as time went, it became more noticeable.
Yeah, it just building up. So you would hit me up. You even hit me up before that, but then you hit me up and said, "Hey, man, I'm not sure really what's going on, but here's the deal. I mean, he's been having diarrhea. It's getting worse, and I have him on your supplements. What should I do? Should I should I use less supplements? Should I?" So my whole, and then obviously I need to get more intel, right? I need more information, so then we can start to figure out. We get enough information, and then we can start to reverse engineer. And that's my whole. That's what I do with everything, right? Let me get as much information as I can, and then start to reverse engineer. And in the nutrition world, guys, reverse engineer, especially in this circumstance, really means elimination, right? Elimination diet. So we have to start, because there's so many components, and we have to start at ground zero the best we can. And that would be, let's get rid of put the supplements to the side, and once you started telling me though, the amount of fruit that for some reason I thought it was vegetables too, but the amount of fruit, and guys, I would say the same thing if he said fruit and vegetables or just vegetables. Anyway, I said, once you told me how much you were feeding them, I knew that was going to be the epicenter, that was going to be the issue, but let's eliminate everything except for the kibble, because I also asked him when the dog was just on the kibble, was there any issues? And you said no, right? And you didn't change the kibble, like you were on the same kibble, correct? So that's all intel I need to know, so we can still start to eliminate and figure out what the issue is. Now, before I move on, guys, this pertains to people that hit me up and go, "Hey, I'm not on your supplements, but my dog's having allergies, really bad allergies, or hot spots, or issues with his teeth and his gums, or issues with diarrhea or constipation. Will your supplements help?" Well, certain supplements certainly won't hurt, but we have to figure out what the issue is. We got to figure out what the cause is so we can stop the bleeding, right? So that's why I needed information. So I said, let's get rid of the fruit. Let's get rid of the supplements for now. And then let's just go to ground zero and give that at least a week. So I know you gave it like a week, 10 days, something like that. And you started to see a change, right? Is that correct?
I think within like 3 days is
proven.
Right.
You started to see right away, because all of a sudden, once you stop what's creating the inflammation, once you stop what's creating the issue, if it's 100% nutrition, and so many times it is, now what happens is, now we can start to actually stop the bleeding, and then start to actually heal, right? Let the body naturally start to heal itself. But we don't know that until we start the elimination process. So that's what we started to do. And he kept me abreast of everything. And then once, and guys, the other thing that I have to stay conscious of, right, when people reach out to me is, and I don't know this until the conversation starts to blossom, right? And a relationship starts to blossom. But I don't usually, when someone reaches out to me, especially if we haven't really had in-depth conversation and I don't know them at that level, I don't typically go, "Hey, listen, the fruits are no good. The vegetables are no good. Don't do that," because what happens is it puts people on a lot of times it'll put people on the defensive, because their intention is pure, right? They really want to do the best thing for their dog. Right. And I also need to get clear on what is going on, right? What really is happening. So once he started to get to that point where it's starting to actually heal, we still don't want to implement until we feel like we're really out of the woods. So I think, what was it, 10 days maybe?
I'm pretty sure it was 10 days.
Okay, 10 days to 2 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, minimum 10 days.
Yeah, so 10 to 12 days, something like that. Then we started to implement. Well, then because he started to see results, now there's a little bit of a trust, right, with what I'm sharing with you. So then I can build on that. And I'm keeping it real for everybody on how I think, right? How this whole process unfolds for me. So now there's a trust because I'm giving you some good information because you're starting to see results. So now I can start to talk about my view, my experiences with myself and other people when it comes to large amounts of fruits and vegetables for our canines. So then what happened is now we're starting to get better. We're starting to get better. Let's keep the I believe we kept the fruits still on the side.
No, we took them out completely.
That's what I mean. We kept them, we put them on the side, right? We got them out of the way. And then we started to just sprinkle in some of the supplements, right? Because the stools now are getting consistent. That means he's healing inside. So then we're just sprinkling for a day or two, a few days. Then we're upping it.
Yeah.
Then we're upping it. Then eventually we got to what the serving sizes recommended for the dog, and he stayed steady. Now think about this, guys. Think about this. For an actual healthy dog that had those drastic issues for a while, for us to be able to turn that around so quickly, right? It shows you that this canine nutrition game is not hard. Guys, it is very simple when you follow the basics. It's a carnivore. They survive and they thrive on animal protein and animal fat. It's that simple, guys. But actually, there's some other directions, but go ahead.
Even before I hit you up, at this location right here in IB, there's a vet store actually right next door to me. Mm-hmm. Hey, this guy's having diarrhea. Told him everything exactly that I told you. And he pretty much kind of just answered like in a circle. Like what was?
You broke up a little bit.
Hello?
You broke up a little bit.
Okay. What part?
You went into the vet?
Yeah, I went to the vet next door. Spoke with one of the doctors. Told him the whole situation was going. Told him the food like to the T and the supplements, and he didn't even know what was going on. Like he was like, oh, like maybe give him more pumpkin. I'm like, well, dude, like maybe that's what's messing him up. So then that's I think it was my wife that was like, it will maybe hit up Dave and to see if it's supplements, because then the guy started saying maybe it's a supplements. So we're like, okay, well, let's hit Dave up. And then I remember when you told me to take everything out, including the supplements. I even told my wife at that time. I said, Dave's he's not gonna lie. And she's like, yeah. I said, because any salesman that's like just a salesman that doesn't have the knowledge and backup and care about the product, they will tell you take everything out but the supplement. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%, dude. But think about this, right? That's when you know. Here's some real world 101. Father Time always tells the truth, right? So when you're not sure about somebody's intention, Father Time will reveal what the truth is, right? So when you came to me, my only intention was let's figure out what is actually happening, right? So the only way to do that is elimination. And because you told me that, now this would have been more difficult if you had switched foods, right? Because now we have more dynamics, we have more things to address. But once you told me that he's been on the actual food for a while and he was good with that, cool. Now we got the foundation. Let's push everything out of the way because there's an issue internally with processing. So it's common sense to say, well, we're not going to keep doing this because now it's not working, right? Now it's counterproductive. Now it's, let's move this to the side. Let's see how he does in the next few days. And then you just take those baby steps. But I also knew that the fruits were absolutely, I wasn't going to say they were the main cause, but I can tell you this, they were not helping, right? Especially when you have that diarrhea. That is for sure, man. They were acting as a diuretic, right?
Yeah.
And when you just said that about, a salesman, I'm going to bring this right back around to my sports nutrition store. The reason I bought a struggling sports nutrition store in 2008, November 2008, and it was the worst economy we knew since for a long time. 2008, it was the real estate crash, right? And everyone in my inner circle was saying, "You're out of your mind. What are you doing?" I bought it, and I just knew there was. I like you. I've been an athlete my whole life, right? I've been in the supplement world my whole adult life for sure. But even in high school and middle school, I was always into working out. I was always into training. Wrestling was my thing. I wrestled from the 4th grade. But here's my point. When I opened up this store, one of my taglines was, "You're going to leave with more information you came in with, whether you like it or not." Right? Now, a lot of people chuckle at that, but that was my tagline, one of my taglines. And my other thing is, when I had my sports nutrition store, I was, again, 2008 to 2012. So when I was 16, 17, 18, 19 years old, I'd go into the sports nutrition stores, want to get the information. They'd sell me whatever they wanted to sell me, but I wasn't getting results. So I said, when I open this store, we're going to be the actual polar opposite of that, right? You're going to get the real information based on what your goals are, based on where you actually want to go. So, and I apply the same thing to this, right? What is it that what's the issue or what's the goal? Let's reverse engineer, right? So we can get you there the most cost-effective and convenient way, because then we can build a lifestyle around that. So I love that, bro. So we left off where now you're starting to see actual results, correct?
Yeah, so it's solid. So then I hit you back up, and then you told me, okay, let's start adding supplements. And maybe this is just the bodybuilding. I mean, I measure everything by the grams.
Yeah.
I even is measured by the grams. Like,
yeah.
So your scoops, a full scoop is 10 grams. I think I even told you, like, oh, it's 10 grams a serving. How much grams you want to do? And so I think what we did for a week, 2 grams of the scoop, just a sprinkle. We did that for a week. The next week we bumped it up another 2. Next week, just slowly every week we bumped it up to 2 until it was a full scoop.
Yeah, and then everything just got better and better. Remember, think about what's happening to his dog, guys. This is so important internally. When you have that diarrhea, when it's running through your system that much for that long, the nutrients are just being washed right out of your body, right? You're not obtaining and utilizing the nutrients needed to not only survive with a quality of life, but thrive on a quality of life. And then once he starts to see the results, then I could really give him my feedback on the fruits and the vegetables. So here it is, guys. Listen, first of all, understand that we are human beings. So when we care about something or someone, and there's an emotional attachment, a personal attachment to that being or that thing or that person, we could be misguided much easier if the intentions of the other party is not pure. So, or just not knowledgeable, right? Because you want to do everything you can. So you want, okay, the blueberries, antioxidants. Okay, the strawberries, this. Okay, this, it must be the. So first and foremost, guys, I want to talk to you. They aren't human, right? We have a lot of similarities and I can share those, but they're not human. So think about some of the most successful, and I say successful, I'm talking just purely financially, some of the most successful marketing campaigns. And the first one that comes is the treats, bacon, something bacon. They look like strips of bacon. Bacon something for the dogs.
Yeah.
I forget. Who? Do you know? Bacon.
I don't know what it's called.
Name. But their whole branding is, it looks like strips of bacon that we would eat, right, as humans. And then when you look at the ingredients, it's a train wreck, right? But they pry and they prey on those emotional attachments of you and your dog, your canine, your family, because if they could get you to think like a human, now it's going to be much easier. So that's exactly what happens because think about this. When people start to say, well, too much protein, right? Well, first of all, there's levels to this protein game, right? If you're talking about proteins for your canines other than animal protein, then you might have something to stand on when you say too much. But when you're talking animal protein, muscle meats, organ meats, bones, there isn't anything considered too much. And people just buy into this concept that must be true. But then I ask, well, what real world experiences have you actually lived through with your canines that shows you and proves that you fed too much animal protein? And they just look at you like, well, no. Okay, do you actually know anybody? But I can tell you that when I fed commercial feed to my dog Wyatt, he had gum issues, teeth issues, nails splintered. But when I moved him over to the raw diet, within 30 days, the nails hardened up, the gum started to get stronger, the teeth got stronger. Well, that's internal. That's real. So yeah, I did live through that. And I know plenty of people that did. But people's first thought is protein, they can't process too much of it. If anything, if there is an abundance, they're going to urinate it out.
Yeah.
And there's and show me dogs that literally had kidney failure from just animal protein. You got to show me, right? I'm Missouri. I'm the show me state, right? I want real world results and real world data in real time, right? Sure. And how do you get that from your dogs? By what you're seeing externally, with their fur, with their teeth, with their eyes, with their nails, and first and foremost, with their stools. That's how simple this game is, guys. And when people make it more than it is, that's when you have to step back and go, wait a minute. It's either one of three things happening here. They truly don't know what they're talking about, right? And they want to create an illusion that they do, okay? Or there's a different agenda and they want to create smoke and mirrors, or a combination of both. Organ meats, muscle meats, bones, rinse and repeat. And if I want to follow the most proven blueprint in reproduction, consistency, and time tested, that's Mother Nature. On every single level, when it comes to that reproduction, Mother Nature has this thing on lockdown, right? So organ meats, muscle meats, bones. If you want to feed your dogs, if you really, really feel like you want to feed your healthy dog vegetables and fruits, maybe as a snack, right? But then my question then is, if you are going to give a snack, why wouldn't you? And you have the option to give you something like a beef jerky versus a piece of fruit that you know is going to be much more nutritional value, much better on the digestive tract than that piece of fruit. Why would you even pick that over this, right? That's my question, right? It's like my buddy, Dr. John Jackwish says, he created the X3 workout program. Anyway, they say he's a carnivore like I am. And they asked him, somebody asked him in an interview, well, why do you just stay with carnivore? He says, well, because I'm getting the best results, bar none, compared to other other nutritional programs that I actually used, right? And he's an athlete. He played high level rugby, and now he's into bodybuilding in his 40s and late 40s and looks tremendous. But what he says is, he said, and I'm going to jack this quote up, but he says, it's like asking, well, why are you using a toothbrush versus a toilet brush for brushing your teeth? Well, because my toothbrush is a better tool for brushing my teeth than the brush I use for my toilet, right? Yeah. Now think about how ridiculous that is, but how common sense that is, right? It would be like you saying now, after what you're seeing and experiencing, saying, you know what, let me try the fruits again.
No, I don't
right? No, but that's what I'm saying to people is listen, just go by the real world experiences on what you're experiencing, and then maneuver from there and surround yourself with the people that have the pure intention, want you to win, right? But also have the real world experience to back that up, not just what you heard here or what I read there, like the professor. Listen, if that professor built and sold multiple businesses over his period of time, do you think he wouldn't have told you that?
Yeah.
Of course, right? Right. So when somebody gets very defensive and gets very and they can't answer you and they shut you down, there's a reason.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason to all this. I know we got some pretty crazy comments coming in here.
My mom texted me right now.
Who?
Hey, Mom. She just texted me. Said,
awesome.
But school.
Hey, listen. For me, everyone has their own belief. And listen, I tell people all the time, listen, I'm not the end all. Whatever I share with you is coming from my real world experience, but take what works, throw out the rest. Maybe none of it works, right? Throw it all out. Don't take my word as gospel, but I only share what I have actually experienced, either through myself or actually through other people. So am I going to share your story? Of course, 1,000%.
Even with all those, what we're giving him, mm-hmm. the egg, the fruit, all that stuff, he would eat it all, but he would just eat it, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. When we switched it over to just the kibbles and supplements, this dude eats his food like if I haven't fed him in a week. I'm talking about like head in there.
But okay, but let's tell them why, right? Let's go further. Let's go deeper, because we are tapping into that primal carnivore DNA. He smells and tastes
the organ meats, the muscle meats, the bones. There's no secret to any of this, right? There is no secret to any of this. It's just following the carnivore world. That's how simple this is, guys.
His got better. He started filling out better. I even thought that he lost weight because his waist, his stomach slimmed in. But when I weighed him, exact same weight. There's
What's
just
the bodybuilder?
all inflammation that was.
Well, no. But no. Let's go further than that, because that's not just it. And you know this from what you do for a living. What does amino acids do? Can you hear me? Yeah. What do amino acids do? They build muscle. They build lean muscle, right? What does animal protein do? They build lean muscle. What does animal fat do? Create the most natural energy source available to you, me, and your dog. Fact. Not even up for debate. What is in red meat that is so positive when it comes to lean muscle mass and strength? Creatine, right? Yeah. So at the end of the day, when lean, hard athletic muscle is the most healthiest position to be in internally and externally, because the lean, hard athletic muscle now becomes an armor, a shield of armor for the ligaments, the joints, everything, right? So when you're, that's how simple this is, guys. This is not rocket science. If it was, I wouldn't be in it.
Because you go on TikTok and you hear, rub coconut oil on your dog's fur for healthy skin, healthy coat, fights off.
Let's really also, Steve, let's really fucking share what you said though. You went to a vet. Why wouldn't a vet say, listen, tell me what actually you've fed, okay? And let's start eliminating and get to this. Like, you don't need a degree for what we just did. It's obvious, right? We don't need a degree. I never graduated high school, right? So
I would have told me.
But that's the real question here, right? Is again, I am not the. I always want to surround I always want to be in the room that I'm not the smartest, right? Yeah, I want to learn, right? I want to learn, but when it comes to just stepping back and looking at things in a logical way, there's not a degree on the wall that can do that for you like real world wisdom. Right? I mean, that's it. And all we did, guys, was eliminate, give it time, evaluate, and then just start to add in. So we identified, we eliminated, we gave it time, and then we add it back in. That's all we did. That's all we did. And now he's fine. That's
Everything's better. Everything's better. Even actually going back to, I think you said someone mentioned about like their skin, like their coat. I was putting coconut in this coat because, like I said, on TikTok it says best. And when I stopped the coconut oil, like I'll get compliments here and there about his coat, but when I stopped the coconut oil and it was just supplements, his skin, bro, his fur, not only is it 10 times shinier, 10 times softer as well.
Yeah. And guys, you got to think about something too, is you see something that says coconut oil, and then you hear all the branding and the marketing and all the trumpets playing about it.
But there's like hate.
And a lot of times they're giving you information based on if it was actually pure, right? But a lot of times when you flip them around and you start to read ingredients that you have to Google, right? And you start to see numbers, color 10, color 8, whatever that, and then you start to see stuff that's completely foreign, but you see a label that says coconut oil, right? That also is really misleading as well, and pretty detrimental. So again, it comes back to surrounding yourself with the right people to get the right information to make decisions in real time. Because remember something too, guys, this is when I say make decisions in real time, it's a moving object. There's things going on constantly inside his dog's body. So it's a moving target, just like human. So what is working now, all of a sudden a year and a half from now, might not be. Okay, let's figure that out, or maybe we ride this out. Another thing that I preach, if you could get away from not giving your dog tap water. What is in our tap water is absolutely horrendous, man. Horrendous stuff. And if you think your dogs aren't going to be affected by that, you're misled. Yeah, our tap water is it should be illegal.
Awful.
Yeah, it should be illegal. And again, don't take my word for it. Do your own research on that. I've done plenty. But yeah, so I wanted to share your real world story, dude, because so many people are in that mindset of, fruits, vegetables. It must be really good. I had this complete conversation, right? Sunday night at one of my training sessions with a trainer I'm working with here for my pup. And the girl said, matter of fact, she reached out, she DM'd me this morning, but she said, hey, my dog has irritable bowel syndrome, and we're having issues with that. We're having issues with this. We're having issues with that. Oh, I'm sorry. It was a different girl that said this, but this other girl reached out to me. I got him confused. But anyway, in my mind, I want to make sure I'm actually accurate. But this other girl said IBS, and we're having issues. And this other girl jumped in and said, oh, we're having the same thing. But I read something about some ground meat. So, because I was giving them vegetables and fruits, and then the commercial feed, and God, everything was running through them, and blah blah blah. But once I got the ground meat, and all of a sudden, the stool started to get consistent. But then her mind was right, because she's listening to all this other noise. Oh, maybe he's okay now with the vegetables and the fruit. So, she thought she was putting together a awesome meal, right?
Yeah.
But when I broke it down for her, and I said, but let's look at really where did the better results come in with the ground meat. Okay, so when you eliminate the other stuff and you keep the ground meat, what happens? Oh, it was great. Once you start to add the other things in, right, then it started to affect. But my point is this. Okay, now we know. So now that's a no-brainer. Don't go back to that for that dog. But let's just say you have a dog, Steve, that wasn't affected with the fruits and vegetables, okay? And I'm throwing vegetables in there because I want to make a point, okay? Suppose you had a dog that wasn't showing those issues. My response still is this. People say, do my dogs need fruits and vegetables? And I say, absolutely not. Do my dogs need animal protein, animal fat? 100%. Because if you take away the animal protein, the animal fat, and you just give them fruits and vegetables, how do you think that's going to end?
Yeah, it's true. Awful.
Not well, right? But if you take away those and you just give them animal protein, animal fat, what do you think's going to happen? You know what's crazy, dude? 2 years ago, I'm driving in my truck and I hear this. I don't know, TikTok, something. Maybe it was YouTube. They did a study. They actually did a study. They did a study. So that means money was spent, time was spent, resources were spent on the lifespan of an average vegan dog. I thought I was going to drive into a tree. I had to listen to that 4 more times. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait, hold on a second. You you did a complete study on the life expectancy of a vegan dog, right? So think about that, dude. So they said they came up with 3 years. The life expectancy of a vegan dog is 3 years. So my thing was, well, how long of a jail sentence did that person be put under to put your dog into a vegan diet? Because that's animal abuse 101. That's animal abuse 101. A vegan diet for a dog. And as you can tell, Steve, I'm not worried about politically correct, and it doesn't matter to me if people get offended, right? As you can see, that's how I roll, because what you see is what you get. And for me, when you do the right thing in life, you know what happens? It's always the right thing. Right? When you do the right thing, it's always the right thing. So all that doesn't matter to me. So what I'm telling people is animal protein, animal fat as your foundation. If you want to start adding other things, seeing how things go, by all means, do that. But just stay with the foundation that your carnivore was created from. That is animal protein, animal fat, 1,000%. And it's not even up for debate.
Even his treats, he reacts different too. I used to give him their treats right here next door at the Ivy Pet. They're good for him. They're blueberries. It was like actually that was a mixture. That was the veggies. It was a mixture of fruits and veggie treat, and he would eat it, but in like not really like devour it, but he would eat it. And then when you told me that you wouldn't even recommend that for a treat, where I go to get all my meats from at some steak shop right up the street, they also do fresh meat and fat combined for dogs of treats. So I was like, all right, well, let me try it out. Same thing. This dude eats it like if I never fed him before.
Right. So it's this, right? So it's, again, do I use the toilet brush to brush my teeth tomorrow morning, or do I use my toothbrush, right? So if you have a choice, and again, if you want to give those treats, sure. If you don't see any issues, okay. But if you have the choice to give a nutritious treat that connects to their primal DNA, my question is, why wouldn't you? And there's no answer except I don't know, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why, because there's no logical answer to that, right? Except I didn't know, or that's all I had at the time, or I thought it was better.
Yeah, I'm sure that's probably more than 90%.
Yeah, because of the branding and the marketing and everything like that. So here's the other thing, dude. Here's the other thing that I personally, and I'm just giving my personal opinion. Are you still feeding that raw egg?
No.
Okay. So did you get the egg from a grocery store?
Yeah.
Okay.
Costco.
So again, here's my opinion. If you're going to give, based on facts, guys, based on facts. So if you're going to give raw egg and it's not farm to table, meaning my neighbors in Fallbrook here, I get eggs from their yard, right?
Oh, no.
I get milk from their cows. But if
wow.
you're getting eggs from the grocery store, do you guys understand that legally, from the time that egg is dropped in that big farm to the time it gets to Albertsons on your shelf, do you know legally how long that span is? You ready? 90 days, bro. 90 days. Do you know what that means? That means 90 days of the farm, a warehouse, a truck, a warehouse, a truck, another warehouse, another truck or two, ended at a warehouse. That means different temperatures, different times, different everything. that now. So if you are going to give a grocery store egg, cook it, right? But if you're going to give raw egg, but it's farm to table, and you know that all day long. Another thing, if you're going to, and this is coming from the real world experience. If you're going to create your own raw meals, and you're going to use raw animal protein, chicken, beef, pork, I don't care what it is, from a grocery store that's supposed to be consumed by humans, so they know that it's going to be cooked, but you're giving it raw, you could really be putting your dog in major danger because of that whole time process with different temperatures, trucks and warehouses, right? So, and I learned the hard way. So if you're going to, the difference between a legitimate raw dog food company versus going to Costco and buying that bulk ground meat and giving it to them raw is that legitimate raw company is flash freezing. As soon as that's manufactured, flash frozen. Boom, boom, boom. And if you're going to give the raw ground meat from Costco, Albertsons, Stater Brothers, bring it home, freeze it for a week or two, then give it, less likely that you're going to have food poisoning and issues. So if you are going to do that, freeze it for a minimum a week, right? Then thaw it, and thaw it just in sections. But anyway, that's, I go down a whole nother rabbit hole, but there's so many misleading, misinformation stuff out here when it comes to this. But when you have the right information, look how quick we turn you around, brother. Look at that.
Quick and way better outcome.
Yeah, right? That's it. That's it. All this comes down to is real world wisdom from either yourself or other people, and then just straight common sense. Right? That's all that comes down to, right? We figured this out between the both of us with no major degrees on the wall, but multiple businesses under our belt.
Yeah.
Fact, right? It's fact, brother. So, again, am I beating up the traditional educational system? Yeah, I am. And that's who I am. That's been my experience. So doesn't mean everyone has to listen to me. No harm, no foul. But listen, brother, I want to thank you for taking the time, man. I know you're a busy dude. You literally just locked up and jumped on live. But I appreciate you, your realness and sharing your story. And thank you for reaching out, man. Tell your wife I said thank you so much for reaching out to me and trusting me.
Yeah, I even sent, bro. I think I have like 10 guys that buy your stuff now too. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I know we talked. And for me, that's everything, right? Anybody that follows me knows. Just look at our packaging, right? Every dog on our product came from a customer that took time out of their day to DM us unsolicited feedback. Every single label is dogs that actually with their IG handles on the back of the label, right? So for me, it's just that's what matters, right? Not the double blind, triple blind studies that have been manipulated and you don't even know what's up or down, how it was really implemented. Not what TikTok always tells you, but I've got great information from there as well, right? If you, yeah, I have, I truly have, and I could share those experiences. But it's, have you had so who are you getting the information from, and where did they get that information from? And if they got it from real world experience. And guys, let me just share this. And Steve, I don't even know if you know this, but the whole reason that Canine Super Supplements is here and the reason me and you were talking right now, and the reason that me and you met is because 24 years ago, my American Pit Bull that I competed with up and down the East Coast in agility, bite work, hardest hitting contest, weight pull, tug of war, had internal issues. Once I got introduced to the raw diet, within 30 days, everything changed, right? So once that happened for me, now I can say, wait a minute, I'm going to put supplements together that will fill in those nutritional gaps with the commercial feed, but also up the absorption rate for the raw diet that I feed, right?
Yeah.
So again, this is all coming from the real world, and there's nothing trumps that, dude.
It's funny you said that, because if you rewind before I opened up the supplement stores, back in this time, this was what, maybe 2016, 2017. This is when supplements, like especially like pre-workouts, all the caffeine started increasing.
Yep.
High stems now being low stems. Low stems were non-existent. And for me, I personally like low stems. I personally like a low stem with a good thermal, make me sweat.
Yep.
Enough caffeine going, and get a product that has a good pump in it.
And a vasodilator.
But the way the market was going, everything was going no low stem. Low stems now, bro, are like 350 caffeine, which is like mind blowing. So how you said how you made your supplements off of your personal experience of what you liked. I actually did the same. So I actually ended up making up my own supplement line called Royalty Gains, and I made a pre-workout, a fat burner, a joint support, and a natural test booster. And I was thinking that it was actually just for myself. And then eventually, that I was buying their minimum. I think it bumped up from like, you could buy like 10 bottles at a time to they bumped up the minimums to like 150 of each item.
Damn.
But it was working good for me. I was getting really good pumps. My friends were like, bro, what are you taking? So I was giving them samples of it. So I was like, shit, dude, maybe I can make something out of this. Bro, I started selling that from my room. Actually, when we get off, I'll send you a picture of it. I had like 150 pre-workouts, 150 fat burners that I liked, that I'll use when I do my fasted cardio. Joint supports with turmeric and MCM in it, a good test booster. And bro, that ended up getting sales after sales after sales. That fast forward to now, out of all the 1,000 test boosters out there, that is still my number one selling test booster. At both stores.
Hey, ready? Check this out, bro. So 2015, I created 2 products, human products, and one was a test booster. It's called Roar. And so it's an all natural test booster. And then what I did is I had I no longer have them. I just did a really short stint on that, but I did a natural test booster along with a sleep aid, natural sleep aid. So you raise those natural growth hormone levels at night, right? So it's a great marriage. This is called Roar, and then the other one, the sleep aid was called Knocked Out.
That's smart. Like
It's awesome, bro. That's awesome. I know we got all kinds of heat coming on here.
That one's a test booster right there.
What's it called?
The test booster is called Royalty Test.
Okay, and that's your actual line.
That's the actual line. So that's the line that I actually started before I got this, a store.
Okay.
So that one, and then the pre-workout. The pre-workout I actually personally like because it's lower stem.
Yeah.
But especially on the market right now, a lot of women want pre-workouts, but they're scared to take all these high stems.
Yeah.
All of them. They don't want to take these high stems. They don't want to take the pre-workouts that have all the beta alanine in it. They don't like the tingle feeling. So then I actually ended up reformulating it to be specifically what I like and to target all the women that like want low stem, low beta alanine. It's been going great.
See, I love that too, because guys, when he's talking about what he likes and what he knows works, that means he can give real world feedback on it, real information, and people feel that energy, right? They feel the realness because you believe that's moving them in the right direction, health wise, longevity, right?
Yeah.
And for whatever their goals are. So that's why me and you connected so quick, dude. We have the pure intention, right, based on real world wisdom. But man, I appreciate you, brother. I thank you for coming on. Again, tell your wife I said thank you. I got to get down to which store are you usually at? The one in National City or IB?
Over here at IB, probably for the next 6 to 8 months until I start going back and forth.
I gotta get down there and see you. Are you 7 days a week?
Over here in IB, yeah. National City,
Yeah.
6 days.
6 days? Okay. Yeah, I'll hit you up before I come down to make sure you're gonna be there. But I gotta get down there and check you out, brother.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, man. So again, man, appreciate you, man. And keep me posted with the pup. As always, anything you need, let me know.
I will, brother. Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you, my man. All right, guys. So there it is. Doesn't get any more real than that. It just did. And again, we got the DMs to back it all up. But organ meats, muscle meats, bones, rinse and repeat. That's all we got to do. And on another note, I'll keep you guys posted on Vitor. He's sleeping right now. And again, I'm hoping that we can just get this passed through him, but he consumed a lot. So I'll keep you guys posted. Keep him in your prayers. That's my dude. We got a lot to do in his lifetime, so we need him here. Yeah, man. So let me see if I'm missing any questions. Let's see here, man. That's my dude. Sean, 909 Celebrity, man. Appreciate you, brother. That's my, oh, wait a minute. Shit. Cancel. Sorry, guys. Hit the wrong button. Dylan, what's up, my brother? Appreciate the feedback, man. The real world feedback. Appreciate you, man. Just seeing if I'm missing any questions, actually. I keep hitting this. Sorry, guys. Reyes Kennels, man. Always appreciate the love, man. I love it, man. Appreciate TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, man. Appreciate the love. Man. Yeah, Mark 33rd Frenchies, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, I know. And that story you shared today, man. The real world feedback. Like that story, dude, doesn't get any more real than that for me. That's as real as it gets. And again, what I appreciate the most is I know that you guys don't have to take the time out of your day to do that. The videos that I get DMs every day, that the comments that and the stories for me to share. You don't have to do that. So that's what I want to acknowledge. And for me, that's everything, man. That's the oxygen for me. I love that, man. I love that. Reyes, again, man, always appreciate the love. Yeah, I'm just trying to read anything coming in. I think we hit everything. But again, this was guys, definitely this one. Share it, get it out there, because so many people believe that they need to go down to a certain direction, but ultimately they truly don't. At the end of the day, organ meats, muscle meats, bones, bone marrow, or animal protein, animal fat. That's everything. That's the nucleus. That's what your canines were created from, and that's what they're going to survive on, and more importantly, thrive on. Because can't say it enough. It's so important. So, guys, thank you so much. It's like an hour and 15 minutes, but I knew it was going to be fire. And any other real world feedback, anybody that wants to hit me up, that wants to share their story on an episode, let me know, man. We'll promote you. We'll get you out there, and I love it, man. I love chopping it up. So peace, guys. Have a great night, and I'll keep you posted on VTOR. Thank you.